Hello friends, family and other creatures of the sea. Today we have the King Penguin versus the Emperor Penguin. The two greatest Protoss players that are currently around. It's of course Classic and Hero, as long as we don't count max packs. And if they're the King Penguin and the Emperor Penguin, then that makes us Pleb Penguins. I didn't actually know that King Penguins also existed. I was familiar with the Emperor Penguin, and then I was googling different penguin species to see if there's, any decent comparison to make there. And they just made one the king. That is freaking wild. I think generally emperors are considered a bit bigger because they have an entire empire. A king also kind of has an empire. It's more of a kingdom, which is just a different word for an empire in my mind. I don't know why in most fairy tales, though, you always have kings and queens, and you almost never have emperors, except with the emperor's new clothes. Invisible clothes? With the emperor's clothes. Interesting how that works. But yeah, but the Emperor Penguin also apparently is a little bit smaller. I read about both the King and the Emperor Penguin, and the King Penguin is similar in appearance to the Emperor, yet is a little bit smaller in size. But otherwise, pretty much the same thing. I mean, they're penguins. I won't be capable of keeping these guys apart, let me tell you. With Hero and Classic, it's a little bit simpler, as they do have different styles. Hero tends to be extremely aggressive, very good in weird situations, and Classic tends to be very good in standard situations. So these are two players that want a very different type of game. As Classic opens up with a one-gate expansion here, double gases, despite not being blocked. This is kind of the bread and butter of certain tosses right now. Classic, I think Mana also likes doing this a lot, where they go into this one-gate expand. Someone like MaxPax has done this for years, but recently quit, as he doesn't believe that it's viable to defend most builds anymore, specifically the proxy robotics facility into like a 3-gate Stalker. This is a different type of opener though out of Classic, because he's opening up with a Sentry. This is not going to be a Stargate one-gate expand, and I'm very curious to see what Hero's plans are going to be. He's chrono boosting a single Stalker out. What the hell is this? That is weird as hell. That is loopy. The Emperor is on the move, let me tell you. The Emperor's new build. So he's going to go with 3 Stalkers across the map. He's going to be running. He's going to be finding stuff, while Classic is busy chasing this probe with a Sentry. Chasing stuff with a Sentry always feels bad, because the Sentry is really small and deals very little damage. He's going to get it eventually, but this little ball of fun is not the quickest tool in the shed. Not the quickest runner on the track. Battery is about to finish up. I do not think that these Stalkers can deal enough damage to really ruin anything's life here. And a little bit of hull damage on that one Stalker, but that's not going to bother him too much. His battery already lost 50 energy though. Now the 3rd Stalker shows up as well. That's actually going to be serious damage output here. And we're going to need to use our first recharge, I think, on this battery, as we're going to rebuild a battery as well. Defensive Stargate being used here for Classic, while Hero wanted to go for an Oracle behind this, but he's actually supply blocked. At 31! He's supply blocked. What the hell is this? He's down 5 workers, is massively supply blocked with $400 in the bank. Dude, he's in a terrible spot right now. As Classic is also going to be moving in further forward, snipes a Stalker, keeps his own Stalker alive. Hero, dude, he's getting absolutely rinsed right now. He's losing his crown. What do the Emperors wear? What did Caesar wear? Like the thing made of grass, or whatever the hell it is. Like the thing you put on your head. It's like a crown, but it looks like it's made of I don't know, leaves or something. That's what the Hero is losing right now. And Classic is putting it on top of his own crown, because he is the King Penguin. And we're going to need to use a recharge here on this thing. Actually, it doesn't have it available. And we're going to get double adepts running forward. First Oracle is on the way. I cannot believe that Classic decided... Okay, he went Phoenix first. I was going to say, can't believe that he went for an Oracle as well. But he actually went for Phoenix first, and then Oracle's going to get a lift here. Needs to get a lift. No, it's instead going to go for this Oracle, chase it with this Phoenix, which is an understandable play. But as a result, these 2 Adepts actually get quite a bit of damage done here. 3 worker kills, almost a 4th. The Adepts managed to escape as well, or at least temporarily managed to escape into still dying. So not the greatest thing that has ever happened. The Oracle surely managed to escape, right? Yeah, okay. Double Oracles are now out. There's still only a single Phoenix. So despite Hero's terrible early game, he now has a 3rd base because he was floating so much cash. He just decided to throw it down. Has double Oracles out. there's really zero pressure coming out of Classic here. Like, Classic built a robotics facility. That is one of the worst buildings you can have if you want to attack. So, if Classic wants to attack, well, it sucks to be him. He can't. That's the reality of things here. It's a double Oracle now shows up. Phoenix completely out of position. Stalker's completely out of position. Hero's going to get 8 kills as he zaps down these probes. Oracle's going to show up at the 3rd base and will get a single kill as well. But let me tell you, if I could get the choice between killing 8 workers or 1 worker, I would go for the 8 workers every single time. But maybe that is just me being silly. I don't know. I just personally think it's better to do. Also, Hero has a faster 3rd, which is also just better. So if you look at some of these decisions, you know, like Hero killing 8 workers, Classic killing 1, Hero getting a fast 3rd base, Classic getting a slower one. It's like Hero is just winning. You know, he's just doing a better job here so far. So Classic needs to step it up right now, but or step down, because his units are losing trust in his leadership right now. It's like, what the hell? We had the 1 gate expand. Our opponent got supply block at 31 for like half a minute. We should be winning. We should be winning right now. But Hero is a magician. Hero absolutely is a magician. Hero is on the hunt as well. Uh-oh. And look at this Hunter. He's gonna get this Phoenix. No, he loses his own Phoenix. And the Hunter gets eaten by the Penguin. I don't think that happens frequently. Do Penguins actually have like an aggressive move they can go for? Because they eat fish. Like, they can obviously eat a fish, but you know, if they go in a fight with like a seal or something. I was thinking of like other animals that they could fight. And I was like, oh, polar bear, I don't think they'd stand a chance with their beak. But maybe a seal. A seal would be slapping them a little bit. And they could peck at them with their beak. Do wonder who would win in a fight there. Probably a seal, much heavier. As not going to move him forward. Prism is being used as bait here by Classic. Very intelligent play. Oh, never mind. Prism gets targeted down. It's only intelligent if you don't lose the bait. Although all these Stalkers now becoming available here. Hero perhaps overstepping a little bit. Immortal Barrier does come up in time. So we have some good micro back out of this thing as well. Don't forget, a Stasis Ward is waiting here. It's going to save this Immortal. It's going to allow the extra units to show up. Perhaps even this barrier will come back online. I hate that so much when you're stuck in a stasis. And then all these Immortals are just re-getting their barriers again. Hero also still up 10 workers, which is a serious issue, of course. What even is our gateway? 9 gateways versus 2. Good lord. That is an issue. That is a real issue. He has no tech behind this. He's doing this off of 2 gases. No Twilight Council. Now he gets Forge plus Twilight. You think he forgot that he didn't have a Twilight? Like, he's warping in Zealots like Charge is about to finish up. Like, nein, mein Bruder. That's not what's happening at all. Double Adept makes its way across the map. Dude, this is freaking awkward. And Classic actually going for high Immortal count. Glaive Adept, which I really like. Against Zealots without Charge. I don't think there's anything better that you can have than Glaive Adept. And obviously, Hero is straight going to rush into Charge. I still believe that Hero is so far ahead that it probably won't matter. But at the same time, like, if you actually get across the map with like 15, 16 Glaive Adepts, Charge won't be done, and there's this many Zealots, you could theoretically win. Like, there is a world, you know? There is a world in which you win. Ooh, these 2 boys are gonna get in. That is bad news. That is very bad news. It's -3 workers. Make that -4. Do I hear a 5? I hear a 5. Do I hear 6? I think I hear 6. Ooh, missed target. I only heard 5 there. Double Adepts coming in as well on Hero's side of things. His pylons are about to take a beating, but Classic luckily controls this. Ooh, split shots. Very sexy, but not useful. Here comes a Prism. Is he gonna micro with it? No, he just flies past it. Also interesting, as the Adepts do manage to stay alive, Charge still isn't done. Our Adept count right now is at 13. Hero also is expanding to a 4th base. I don't think Hero is aware of the fact that he's just... Like, as long as he doesn't die over the next 12 seconds, he just wins the game. Which is a crazy thing. Like, he actually just wins it. He's also moving out with Stalkers without Blink. Like, he's looking for a Prism that isn't there. He's fighting prisons in his imagination. Prisms. I don't hope he's fighting prisons in his imagination. That's tough, because those are buildings. Never win against those. Alright, here comes another warp in. This is a lot of Zealots, and they finally do have Charge, but there's also quite a few sentries here for force fields. Get some decent enough kiting back, but I'm afraid that the zealot count might just be too big. Immortals in the back packing a punch as well, and Hero is going to clear this army most likely, as he just was up like 20 supply over here. Classic tried his best, he made the correct calls, but if you're down this far, you can't win. Tokamak, the map of our dreams. As Hero, what is he doing? What is Classic doing, more importantly? Classic has decided to not scout and proxy a pylon in the corner. This is one of these moves that is freaking wild. Like, this is one of the wildest fake proxy pylons that I love it so much. Because very frequently people just get too lazy to scout. They're like, oh, there's nothing in the main base. I bet it's somewhere out on the map. So Hero is looking at this and is thinking to himself, weird, weird, weird. What the hell is going on over here? He's going to go for a defensive robotics facility. He believes that he is being proxy roboed right now, while in reality, he's being proxy nothing. Like, there ain't nothing out there. There ain't nothing out there. Hero's going to block this off with a battery. He always does this. The way that Hero tends to play against proxies is defensively get some tech, full wall if your opponent tries to scout, and have at least one adept in the mix. So he can figure out whether you're building a fast nexus or not. Now Classic is going to follow this up with a Stargate from home, which is fairly late, by the way. Adept Stalker. I'm expecting at least one more Stalker before we get a Nexus. He could throw it down right now, but it is a little bit risky. If his opponent had opened up with Stalker, this would have been detrimental, right? Stalker shows up, you have freaking nothing there. Even now, these adepts could spell some trouble if you're not here in time. If Mortal gets produced, this is actually insane. Like, that is such a crazy move. Third gateway goes down as well. So Hero sees this, and he's gonna go for an Immortal attack from home. These tend to be quite weak, though, because it takes a long time for the first Immortal to move across. However, once you get your first Immortal plus Prism across the map, usually you're going to be in an okay spot, because your reinforcements come as fast as they would out of a proxy robo. The problem is just this first attack hits really late, and that gives Classic a lot of time to set up. So this battery that we're seeing building here right now would never finish against a proxy robo, because the Immortal already would be shooting it down. Like, Classic would be dead if this were a proxy robo, but it ain't, and thus he has way more time. We're gonna get our first Void Ray out. We have double gateways as well. This just looks phenomenal here for Classic. Classic really wanted to catch these two adepts, I think. Only at 25 probes, by the way. This is a trick that a lot of 2-gate expanders have started using, where you have this base, but you don't actually probe it up whatsoever. So yes, you invest minerals into it, but then you just kind of defend the low ground and have a positional advantage. So you're investing 400 minerals in something that provides some value in supply, a little bit of extra mineral mining, but mainly it's like a giant bait for the opponent to attack into. Now, sometimes, you know, when your bait is too tasty, you get eaten, you know? It happens. Like, the shark comes up, it tries to eat your bait, and then it also bites your arm off, and that has happened in the past as well with these types of situations. But this is a good start. Prism is gonna get taken out, Immortal will fall as well, single Void Ray will go down, but that is going to be one key unit against two key units. Prism plus Immortal falling here immediately. Force field on the ramp is a possibility, as it's not a good force field, and Classic will be capable of squeezing through. Void Ray does need to move back here. There are not that many Stalkers available. Do we have an energy recharge in the bank? Well, it's in the bank, but there's no Chronos in the bank, and that's going to be the real problem. Oh, can we get it now? No, we can't. Can we now? No, we can't. Okay, new Prism needs to be produced. Okay, it's out already. There we go. We're cooking. We're cooking. No Guardian Shields available anymore, which is actually a huge deal. Guardian Shield does so well against Void Rays and Stalkers. It is insane how big the impact of Guardian Shield is. Like, it helps so much. But yeah, we're not going to be seeing that most likely here. The Sentry is going to get sent back home altogether. Potentially afraid of like an Oracle. Behind this we also have no follow-up tech here for Hero. So it's just going to be pure Stalker. But I think with this amount of Void Rays, if you get one more battery out, you're going to be cooking your opponent. Like, absolutely. So one Stalker did fall there. We have how many Stalkers? 13 Stalkers to 5. But also 3 Void Rays added on top of it, as we get a pretty aggressive chase here. One more Stalker might end up falling. Lots of these Stalkers in the deep red as well. Aye, 1, 2, 3, 5 stalkers that are practically dying if you sneeze hard enough in their direction. Income for Classic is now starting to grow further and further as probes are being added into the mix. And yeah, we're gonna get an energy recharge on this sentry. I'd love to see another sentry warp in. So this sentry has 88 energy, means soon there's going to be double force fields. If you get triple force fields, you can wall this area off. But even with just 2 force fields, it's going to be tough as nails for Hero to move through here. 1 Guardian Shield is available. Sentry went back to get an energy recharge. That is a very smart move out of Hero. I was wondering why that sentry was going home. Sadly, I just don't think that Hero has the tools right now to break this general area. Both players use their Guardian Shield. All 4 prismatic alignments got used as well. I think probes might need to be pulled over here. Yeah, there we go. Absolutely. They tank a lot of Stalker shots, probes. Makes it difficult to micro for Hero. So a couple of workers are gonna die. Behind all of this, we still see Classic with slightly more income, I think. Even if you just have 1 work here, at least he has more gas income because he's mining from a 3rd gas. Classic continues pushing further forward. I feel like stopping at this ramp might have been the correct call. You have the Guardian Shield is still around somewhere. 5th Void Ray now shows up as well. And the moment Classic gets enough gas to get like 1 or 2 more sentries out, it's going to be such a game changer here. Does have the 2 force fields. Like, legit, just a single sentry would help him so much. 1 extra sentry, new prismatic alignment comes in, as these Void Rays are just dealing way too much damage. Hero tries to move in forward, tries to go for the kill, but the Robo at home wasn't good enough to beat Classic. And PvP as of late has just been like this, man. Just aggressive, boom, bam, action from the start. 1 gate expand, out of fashion. We still see it every now and again, but it has like, there's more risk to it. We don't have the max specs 1 gate expand anymore, where it just defends everything with oracles and void rays. No, 1 gate expand right now is a risk, you know? It's like, boom, you got some risk tolerance, you play freaking 1 gate expand. Classic has some risk tolerance, let me tell you. This guy, he knows what needs to be done to win. He doesn't mind flipping the coin. He'd flip for anything, let me tell you. He'd flip for anything. Doesn't scout this time, so potentially another proxy. Previous game, we had that fake proxy, of course. Stargate in the main base. And like I said, Hero loves going for defensive Robo, defensive Stargate as the response. So attack response against whatever it is that Classic will do. If you're Classic and you realize that, you could say, hey, I might just go for another fake proxy pylon, but that's not what Classic is doing. Classic says, in order to play the fake proxy pylon, I also have the real proxy every now and again. Talking about the risk tolerance, this is a position and a half. This is really close to his opponent's base. That is going to make it difficult to defend it. I'm expecting a Stargate here. You have quite a bit of gas mining as well. Like, this is a Stargate position. It could be a Robo, but it would shock me. Like, Robo over here, that is asking for trouble. Absolutely asking for trouble. Hero, meanwhile, Adept. Straight Stargate? Yeah, straight Stargate. There we go. It's gonna be Robo. Robo, Adept. So this is one of the riskiest, if not the riskiest move that you can go for as Classic. Why is that? Robo quite close to the opponent, and Adept don't have the ability. They don't have the ability to protect this pylon. If this was a Stalker opener out of Hero and he finds this pylon, the game just ends. Classic is dead. It's over. Adieu. Ciao, ciao. You cannot do it. It is simply impossible. Hero builds his 3rd pylon in the main base to support these 2 gateways. I'm expecting a Prism here out of this robotics facility because the Stargate has been spotted. And most of the time with a Stargate like this, it's going to be an Oracle first. Prism, double Adept Harass is very powerful. However, Hero is putting all of his eggs in 1 basket. And that basket is called, please let this be a proxy Stargate or a proxy Robo. If this is a standard proxy gate, so a 3rd gate proxy, let's say over here, or if this is a fake proxy, like in the previous game, Hero is legitimately so far behind, it's not even funny. He has 23 workers. This is the minimum amount of units that you can, or probes that you can have. He's going for 3-gate battery Phoenix, saving Phoenixes at home. No counterattack damage. So this is the best scenario imaginable here for Hero. He's going to be lifting these Adepts, doesn't want to lose too many workers. As a result, the Prism will escape. So that is great news, I guess, for Classic. He's going to try to fly back home. Gets an observer as well, which honestly, I completely agree with that call. I think that's a phenomenal call here. And we get 2 more gates. So he's going to go for 4-gate prism behind this. Has this awkward battery in the wall. He's going to try to save this adept. I think that is an interesting call that is just wrong. Will manage to save the adept. But will the prism die? It's going to take a lot of damage. Battery that accidentally finished in the wall is going to save the prism. That is great stuff. That is phenomenal stuff. Now could just elevator down again. New pylon on the way as well. And here we go. Prism needs to stay close to the army though, because these phoenixes are going to be hunting for it. So you cannot move too far forward. Double adept still on the map as well. This prism is too far forward. Hero's going to get the kill here. And we're going to get a single phoenix in exchange. This phoenix almost dies, but not quite. New prism on the way. This hasn't even been spotted yet, I think. It hasn't. Just barely missed by everything. It's going to allow a new prism to build. Nexus comes out defensively. This seems like a very risky move out of Hero. Like, Nexus plus Robo. Yes, the Immortal's gonna come out, but he doesn't have enough force field to fully blast off this area. Doesn't have any batteries done. Now he's gonna try to get 2 out. He's going to need 1 more sentry for certain. Because if this Immortal is out and his opponent runs through, he gets a Stalker instead. Okay, we're gonna get our Guardian Shield. The second Guardian Shield comes in. Target fire on the Phoenix. Target fire on those Stalkers now. Like, there's just too many Stalkers around here for Classic. Hero cannot hold this low ground. Will he finish the Nexus? I think he will. Yep, there we go. Nexus is gonna finish up. Immortal will come down, but we have so many freaking force fields in this sentry that you can just force field this thing down and the game ends. Let's see if that's what Classic is gonna do here. Has the vision with the Observer, of course. Oh, once again, Hero wants to try to move down a little bit. Needs to be so careful there. He really needs to be so careful. Behind this, there's also a sentry, of course, defensively for Hero. So he cannot just straight up die. And at this point, what Classic should be doing most likely is bugging a probe through this wall and taking an expansion himself. He has a 20 supply lead. And on top of that, also has vision with the Observer and a contain. So the best thing you can do in these types of cases is just expand behind it. Because if you're trying to walk up a ramp too frequently, you end up losing a lot of units. Attacking into Sentry Immortal is so hard if you don't have your own high Immortal count. Adepts are gonna shade through and potentially get some of these worker kills that could be neat. I am starting to get really afraid here for Classic. Double Immortals are out right now. They're going to be blasting through these Stalkers big time. As the Adepts show up, probes are being pulled into the Adepts. An interesting call out of Hero here. A couple of Adepts will fall. 4 workers go down. It is still 21 to 23 workers right now. So another gateway is being targeted. Observer comes out. I'm expecting another Immortal to start momentarily though for Hero. Once you get 3 Immortals out against this type of setup, like, these Stalkers are gonna die so fast. So fast. No battery on the high ground is hurting Hero, but Hero already lowered the supply difference to 10. It used to be, what, 17, 20? Right now it's only 10. Another Stalker goes down. Supply difference of just 6 as these Immortals are being targeted down. Adept once again finish up. Will the Prism fall? Good control backwards. 1 Immortal is going to end up dying here. But the supplies are getting closer and closer as a Prism falls. But every single unit over here seems to be going down as well. 2 more Stalkers being warped in. Maybe to attack this Prism. 44 supply to 44 supply. And in an unbelievable turn of events, Hero takes a lead of 2 supply. No one could have seen this coming. Walking up a ramp, not the correct call. Oh no. And right now, look at the situation. 2 Immortals versus 2 Immortals, so that's still okay. But we have the Stargate available. It is even in supply. Adepts are making their way across the map, which is a genius call, by the way. That is such a crazy genius call. Gets a little bit of healing here in the middle. Oh, this battery is going to get taken out by his own probes. And then the Adept. This is the worst timing lock for Classic, by the way. That is so unlucky. As this thing shows up, I think a Phoenix should start momentarily as well. It's going to help against this massively. Adept shade through. Oh, does get spotted by the sentry. But just now the battery has finished up. And here come the Adepts once more. He now sees these units coming down. It's like, hey, wait a second. If you're down here, it means there's probably a hole you forgot to plug. Recall is going to be available in about a second, so we will see that happen. There we go. There's going to be like 6, 7 workers going down. Yep, there we go. 7 workers falling at an instant. 22 to 16. Is there a Phoenix out yet? No, no Phoenix out, but this Prism is gonna find the Robo, and that is going to be the end of this Immortal. Right now, Hero is in a massive eco lead. He's up, what is that, 8 workers? All he needs to do is keep the Prism alive and on his opponent's side of the map. Defend at home on your high ground while you're building a Nexus. This is the perfect play. This is the perfect play. This needs to go across the map. You cannot send it home in this case. This is the one thing you cannot do. Because you need the base trade. You don't actually want to hold this Nexus. This Nexus is a... This is bait. The Nexus is bait. Hero bites his own bait. Jumps in the water. Eats the bread from the hook. And now he has a hook stuck in his cheek. You don't want to be here defending this. You don't have enough. There's no batteries. It's going to be force fielding. Has a Phoenix. This could still potentially... I don't think he has enough stuff. He's down 10 supply. No battery. No advantages here. Adepts are super good in these fights as well because they tank a lot of Immortal shots. A couple of Adepts actually end up finishing up. Gonna get a couple of kills here on the Adept. Immortal's very aggressively moving out forward out of Hero as he targets down... Well, really nothing. He's just gonna be losing this fight big time. Adepts are so strong in this situation. They're so strong in this situation. 2 Immortals still alive defensively. No batteries on the high ground for Hero except the one in the main mineral line. Classic is moving in and is gonna be most likely getting the W here. His unit count is simply too high. Nexus has finished up on the low ground. Probes are being pulled. Once again, Adepts are just so good at tanking against Probes, against Immortals, against Stalkers. They're the ultimate tankers. They're so solid at this type of stuff. And Classic, with the 40 supply against the 50, as Hero jumped in the water and got baited by his own bait, defending the low ground Nexus, is a misunderstanding of the situation there. He was up in workers. You just base trade with the Prism. But that's not what he did. And Classic's going to win this series with a 2-1 score.